Welcome to today's lesson on the poses models use in their work. You might wonder why you need an entire lesson on posing. Doesn't posing basically mean standing there with one hand on your hip? And you know how to do that, right? Actually, posing is a skill, especially for a model. It's one you need to know how to refine as your career grows and you begin to book more and more sophisticated jobs. Posing is like posing for a family photo. Most people pose by smiling and saying, "Cheese!" But what do we mean by a model pose? Whenever someone is shooting you, the way to stand or sit or however you choose to be physically in that shot is your pose. Posing is one of the biggest parts of modeling. Your entire success can depend on a good pose or a bad pose. And although people can give you direction, no one really knows what makes a good pose. It's all about that moment in time and what works right then. So that's what posing is and what model posing is. But how do models use their pose? The short answer is every way they can, whenever they can. But let's take a closer look at it. When you're on a job as a model, anytime you aren't moving, you should be posing. If it's a photo shoot, every shot should be a different pose. If you're walking a runway in the latest fashions, when you stop at the end of it, you pose. When you're working as a spokesmodel and you aren't talking up the product, you're posing with it. Are you seeing the pattern here? I'll make it simpler. Modeling is posing. Posing is the thing that creates the shot. Without a pose, you're just someone standing there and having your picture taken. And clients can get anyone to do that. They don't just book you because you're good looking. They book you because they know when it's time to shoot, you'll give attitude and presence. Posing is how you bring those out and display them on a shoot. Finally, posing is when you as a model get ready to be creative. Other people will pick your clothes, other people will do your hair and makeup, other people will tell you what to say. But when it comes time to shoot you, you're the one posing, no one else. The photographer will give you direction, but a lot of the time all they'll tell you is to give them a new or different pose. Then it's all on you. Use posing to express yourself as a model. Use it to show people who you are and why you're different. That's how you become a superstar. That's the end of this first part of our lesson on modeling poses. Those are the basics of what posing is for a model and how you use posing in your work. But there's still a lot more to it. In part 2 of our lesson, I'm going to talk to you about what makes a great pose. I'm also going to help you start to develop your own style of posing. And that's a part where you'll really want to pay attention to. I'll see you in part 2.